Okay, we are live. How you doing, guys? And we are very excited this evening to talk to you. We have Sean in the house. We've got Larry from Carnivore Quest, and we've got semi-retired Bob. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing well. How good to see you guys as always, Bob. Thanks for being on, Larry. Everybody, it's good to see you guys again.
It's
Yeah,
good to be here.
awesome. Guys, as you come in, we'd really appreciate it. Whoever's channel you're watching on, if you could please smash the like button, that would be really nice. That helps spread the word and get YouTube out there, getting more people in to watch. We've currently got 49 people in the live, which is great. 58 people. It's building up. That's really nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, smash that like button if you could, and we will also be answering your questions today. So if you have a question, please put a Q in front of it so that my weakening eyes can find that, and we'll get to those in turn. And just to clarify, before we get started, just to clarify, this is an orange hat. It may look pink on screen, but it's actually an orange hat.
Right.
So,
Sure it is.
so, Bob, how's your week been?
My week's been really busy, and it's been really hot here in Nebraska with, temperatures. The actual temperature's really only been between 105 and 110 every day this week, but with the humidity added in, it's been 120 to 128. And like last Saturday at work, I was telling you before we went live, I was watching you guys on my phone with all of the stuff in the clubhouse at the golf course with the stone block building and a pop cooler and a slush machine and no ventilation to speak of. It was about 145 degrees in the clubhouse last week.
Wow, that's crazy.
Man, I appreciate you
Yeah.
watching. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
thank you for
commitment.
watching. Yeah.
Well, nobody was outside playing miniature golf. Come on, who's gonna go play miniature golf when it's 120 degrees outside? What kind of an idiot would go do that? Oh yeah, I used to.
It wasn't 120 degrees, but I went and bought a push mower and pushed my yard this week. It was about 98, 99 degrees. We got a heat warning too, but 120, nah, it's not gonna happen.
Wow. And so you're pretty much experiencing the same thing heat wise there, Larry, because are you close to you're close to Sean, right?
Yeah, we're only about just under an hour away from each other. It's been blazing hot. Cassie's down in Florida for vacation with our daughter. She comes back tomorrow, so it's been a long week without her. And she told I talked to her earlier before the stream. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I got so dark." She really got tan. So she's excited to get home. She had a great time, but it's been a good week. I've done a lot of stuff on the channel behind the scenes, and it's been cool. I did eat quite a bit of cheese this week. I was telling Sean earlier on the phone. I was putting a little American cheese on my burgers and my big cheat, but I enjoyed them. But yeah, it's been a good week, and it's good to be here. And no matter where you're watching from, guys, appreciate you being here, and we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, cheers. And just to clarify for John, it's orange.
Sure.
No, it's pink.
um, I'm really interested to see how Larry and Sean fared up after the egg challenge last week. How did you go?
Yeah,
Sean?
so yeah, man, I was awesome. It was great. The next day, I felt fine. I mean, I could when I got done, I could tell that I was full. Trust me, that was the max. There's no way I could have done 50. I thought when I said it, I could, um, but not at this point. Maybe later, maybe down the road one day. I don't know, but that's a lot of eggs. But I felt fine. I had 2 ribeyes. I'm pretty sure I had some eggs, bacon, and I think I had some pork rinds the next day too.
Yeah,
Nice.
the next day, I actually had some eggs the next day. I had because I remember I posted it on Instagram or somewhere. It was like some scrambled eggs, a little pepper, and three chicken legs, which is kind of a unusual combination. But then for dinner, I had like three huge hamburger patties. It was probably, gosh, they were probably half a pound each, and so I was good. Yeah, you know I didn't really push it. You know, I think I had what 8 or 9 those deviled eggs on stream. So I did. I wasn't a maniac like you guys. Well, you and Sean, Dave, you guys were the ones that killed it. Yeah.
Well, I'm just impressed by Sean. Sean hammered those eggs. Sean just went through those eggs like crazy.
Dude,
Um,
I'm telling you, I have been eating 3 times a day for at least the last week. Like it's been like at least probably 2 weeks. Like 3 times a
wow.
day, I've been eating like steak, eggs, bacon. Like I don't know what's got into me, but Larry's like, "Well, you're getting closer to your ideal weight. Like your body's wanting some energy, wanting some food." Well, I'm listening and I'm eating, and you know, I don't know.
So, I have a question for Larry. I need to follow up on the chicken legs things, right? So you had three chicken legs. So there's a poor chicken hopping around in your garden at the moment on one leg. Is that?
No, no, it's just I just cooked up a big old pack of them and happened to have three of them. And but yeah, it's kind of a weird combination, chicken meat and chicken babies. You know,
Ah,
you don't see a lot of people eating eggs and chicken together, but once in a while, it was really because they were leftovers.
mm,
I scrambled up the eggs and grabbed the chicken. And I was being a little lazy, didn't feel like cooking anything else, so it did the job.
nice, nice. So what's your day of eating been like today, Bob?
Oh, today, let's see here. What did I have? I had 6 scrambled eggs for my first meal, and then eight eight third-pound burger patties for dinner.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So is 2 meals a day pretty much what you're doing every day?
I mostly do 1 meal a day. Well, I'd been 1 meal a day for a really long time, but I've started adding a few eggs as a first meal because I'm getting so much closer to my goal weight and I'm doing so much. I mean, I say I was just walking in North Carolina. Now, granted, I was walking, 5 to 10 miles a day in North Carolina, but all I was doing was walking. Now I'm walking. I'm doing all my own yard work, cut my own grass, do push-ups, do sit-ups, do wall pull-ups. I go to the YMCA 4 days a week to do water walking and work out on the cable machine, plus working at the miniature golf course. And I mean, the list just keeps going on and on. I am so busy doing so much stuff that my body just wanted some more food. I hadn't been hungry since I started this way of eating, but I was starting to get hungry. So I thought, well, I don't want to do a true split because I like to have that big blast of protein on a big meal to help keep my kidneys healthy. So I thought,
Mm.
well, I'll just add, depending on how hungry I am, for a first meal, I'll add somewhere between 5 and a dozen eggs as a light snack to tide me over till dinner.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
That's what's up.
And so Sean, you're doing three, and how about you, Larry? Are you two, three,
No,
one?
I'm doing 2 meals.
Mm.
And today I had chuck roast. I made 5 pounds of chuck roast. Was it yesterday? Yeah, and I ate half that today. So, which was actually a lot of food for me. I don't need as much as these guys, not yet.
You
Oh,
could have
nice.
called. You
So,
didn't. You
um,
didn't call. You didn't write.
No, that's all mine.
I haven't seen any questions come through yet. So if you do have a question about anything, you can ask about anything. Please put a Q in front of it, and we will get to those questions. And also, we got 139 people in the live, which is great. if you could do me a favor, smash the like button. That would bring some more people in, and that's better for all of us because it gets the discussion even more deep. So yeah. And Thomas has a very good quote here: "Eating only meat is a game changer."
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely it
100%.
is.
Oh,
Oh
here's a
yeah.
question from Cassie: How much am I missed?
A lot.
A lot. We need you here too, Cassie.
I
That's
didn't even
right.
know you were gone, and I miss you.
That's what's up.
Okay. Question from Hey Kip, how you doing? When did Elton John join the live stream?
Kid got notes.
These are
Tonight.
blue blocking glasses for those of you that are sitting around after the sun has gone down and you don't have your blue blockers on. I would ask why, because when I first heard Professor K talking about blue blocking glasses, I thought it was crystal waving hairy legged hippie woo woo science, but there's some actual real science behind it. The blocking
Mhm.
blue light coming into your eyes after dark will help reduce inflammation and help you sleep.
Mhm. I agree. I just don't have a pair. I haven't gotten a pair yet. I need a pair.
And I
There's a link
I
in my
didn't
description.
understand that Elton
There
John
you go.
reference until you started speaking to answer the question there.
Hmm.
Now I understand the Elton John reference.
Yeah, as far
It's
as
gonna be a long,
I
long
want to add
time.
some
Yeah.
on my prescription glasses. I wear like sometimes when I'm editing, I got the blue blocker layer on there, so they're supposed to help, right?
Yeah. And I
Nice.
haven't I got that reference because I've been compared to Elton John because I've been wearing glasses since I was about 8 years old. And even in elementary school, kids would say, "Hey Elton, what's going on today?"
Really?
Right.
Oh wow. Wow.
I
So oh sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and it's gonna be a long, long time. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
So what's your favorite Elton John song?
Oh man, mine.
Hmm.
I don't even know. I don't know that many honestly, but like, what is the one that the one from Princess Diana? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, Candle in the
Ti-
Wind.
Candle in the Wind. Yeah, that's it.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
Or tiny.
How
What is it? Tiny
Tiny
dancer?
dancer.
Tiny dancer.
uh
That's my
Mhm.
favorite. Probably my favorite one.
okay. Larry, how about you?
it would probably be Candle in the Wind, or is it Rocket Man? That one's pretty
Rocket
Ah,
cool.
Man.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and
And
then anything by Metallica. No, just kidding.
and Bob, how about you? You got a favorite Elton John one?
Oh yeah. Sing us a song. I'm a piano man.
Oh yes,
Ah,
great
nice.
song.
Nice. I'm a fan of Saturday. I love Saturday.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Benny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benny and the
Okay.
Jets. Dun, 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 dun. I
So,
mean, there's so many of them. How do you pick one? He's
that's
been
true.
making music for what,
Yeah.
65 years now?
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Do you guys put magnesium in your water? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, Bob, do you put magnesium in your water?
I put daily minerals in my water, and that has magnesium in it. It's a formula that was designed with by Keto Chow with Dr. Barry, and there's a picture of it right there. I put that in my warm water drink since I haven't been doing coffee lately. I just mix up a mug of warm water and throw a shot of that into it, and that's what I drink in the morning to wake up.
Mm. Okay, and guess Sean, you're the same, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I went a long time without it. Like I started out with when I first went to doing daily minerals. I would do the daily minerals keto chow, or I would do the electrolyte keto chow, the non-flavored. I tried finally. So, Miss Mama Bear sent me some, or sent my wife, and I tried some element. and some of like there was a handful of the non-flavored ones, and they were great. But when I tried those flavored ones, bro, I wanted to eat 10 times more. Like, I don't know what it was, but all of a sudden, like, I was craving stuff that I never was craving before. I don't know what it was. They were great. They helped. I didn't cramp. I mean, I felt good, but like, for whatever reason, man, I just can't do it. That flavor just sent me spinning, I guess.
Hmm. And Larry, how about you?
Yeah, I use Element too right now. I got some unflavored in here, as a matter of fact. I usually use 1 or 2 packets a day, but Sean, I've heard a few people say that they just can't have the flavored stuff because it has their cravings creep up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I I haven't had that experience though, so
Hmm.
Well, I guess I should say too. Larry and Cassie gave us some too, and like we used all that stuff. It was good. They were great. I mean, they were. I think I used a little too much starting out because I would use a whole packet all at once,
you used
and
an entire pack of chocolate in 1 coffee cup. I'm like,
well, like I said, man, if you don't want me to use one stick, then put the amount you want me to use in one pack.
right, right. I hear you. Yeah, I remember you said that.
Nice.
But it was good.
So just a quick update. We have 160 people in the live at the moment. Smash the like button if you haven't already, guys. Please, takes a split second, and that'll bring more people in. Okay, we've got a lot more questions now, so here we go. From Rachel Gard, has anyone had lack of sleep issues due to the citric acid in elements? Haven't had any issue until yesterday drinking the raw element. Someone mentioned maybe stop it for a few days to see any change. Has anyone experienced a lack of sleep?
No, I haven't with the elements, Rachel. I mean, the only time I really had a sleep problem is when I was got into a deep state of ketosis and I started drink. I was still drinking afternoon coffee, and I had to cut that coffee out. And that's the only time I really had any sleep issues. As long as I don't have a cup of coffee after 2 p.m., I sleep, pretty well. But Cassie and I are actually giving up coffee in September, and we're going to do it this time using Dr. Chafee's advice of having using caffeine pills, to help with those headaches. So, real quick, Bob, you said you've given up coffee. You had any issues with that? I mean, you had any headaches or?
No, I have not, because I gave up coffee last October. Didn't have any trouble with that. Didn't notice any real difference either way. So I'm back to drinking coffee, and I've been trying it again this month. And again, I'm not noticing any big difference. So in September, as you start your giving up coffee for a month, I'll come on to one of your live streams with a large jug of coffee and drink it in front of you just for you, because I am that kind of friend, Larry.
Oh, you're a pal. Awesome.
Nice. Okay. Question for Bob here. Bob, have you made it to Texas yet? From Karen Harrington.
No, that's going to be probably mid to late October. I have to be down there by about the second week in November, because that's when some friends of mine are going to be traveling through that area in their van, and they're going to stop in and say hi for a couple of weeks and maybe help me do some work around the new homestead. But I'm definitely going to be here in Omaha for all of September, and then we'll see how October goes and what all different things I can find, because there's still quite a few things I need to have lined up before I go down there to get delivered to my property.
Thank you, Karen. And so Lloyd Martin, question. I'm 325 pounds, 55 years old. Is 4 eggs and 3 burger patties enough for me? Sean, what do you think?
Are you full when you eat it? I mean, honestly, I know it sounds
Good
stupid.
question.
It sounds so simple because honestly, Lloyd, it really is that simple. Like if your body is still desiring and telling you, sending you signals that you're hungry, I would eat. until you're not hungry, until your body says stop. And when it says stop, stop. And then when it tells you you're hungry again, you can eat again. I mean, honestly, that's how I've done the whole time. That's how I do now. That's why I'm eating 3 times a day. For almost a year, I ate 2 times a day. I tried 1 time a day, and my body was like, this ain't working for you. And I was like, okay, you don't have to twist my arm or anything. I'll eat more if I got to, steak and eggs. So
Mm,
yeah, I would just eat until you're full, till you're not hungry anymore, and then stop. It's that simple. It's all on you,
mm,
buddy.
yeah. Anyone want to add anything to that?
I would just say Sean's dead on there. It's just eat till
Yeah.
you're hungry, listen to your body, and you'll find you'll get better at listening to your hunger cues. Lloyd, it's a great question. When you first start, a lot of people wonder that,
Mhm.
and Cassie and I've always just followed the mantra of Dr. Kim Berry: just eat till you're comfortably stuffed, and learn to listen to your body. Bob, you got
Mm,
anything to add to that?
I will take a slightly different tack on this. If they're quarter-pound burger patties, and so that's 3/4 pounds of beef and 4 eggs. If you're only eating once a day, um, I would say that's not nearly enough. If you're having that 2 or 3 times a day, then I would say that that's definitely enough. Now, we all know that calories aren't really a good measure of what we're eating, and our body doesn't know what a calorie is, but that's the way we've all been sort of trained to think about food. And according to Sally Norton, 1,600 calories a day is the bare minimum if you are a sedentary person, meaning you don't do any type of movement. If you sit in your chair all day, 1,600 is the bare minimum. So, again, if those are half-pound burger patties, you're probably eating enough. But if they're quarter-pound burger patties, you may want to try adding a second meal in or 2 or 3 more eggs, because I don't think that's going to be enough for a sustainable long-term run. But that's just my opinion. I, of course, am not a doctor.
thank you. And thank you for your question, Lloyd. Um, okay, so here we go. Linda, are any of y'all's triglycerides high? Mine was 92 last year and 342 last week. Been on keto 7 years. That's quite a change. Yeah. Bob, do you have any thoughts on this or any experience you
Um,
want to share with yours?
Yeah, well, the first thought I would have on that is I would go back and get it retested, because that looks like it's probably a lab error. If it comes up that high 2 times in a row, you're probably going to want to investigate why. There are a lot of things that could make your triglycerides spike. And again, I'm not a doctor, but you could have just gotten, if you worked out really hard the day before you got tested, or you fasted a little too long, or you didn't fast long enough. You got to make sure that before you take any type of lipid panel that you're in the 12 to 14 hour fasted window. Anything shorter than 12 hours can cause things like triglycerides to spike. Anything longer, I know it seems counterintuitive, but anything longer than that can also spike your triglycerides. So the first thing I would do is schedule a retest, or perhaps check and see what you might have done differently the day before you got that lipid panel done. What are your thoughts on this, Larry?
I really don't have any. I haven't had my blood work checked in a long time. Cassie just had hers done recently, and but no, I haven't had mine checked in forever. I'm kind of I really don't go to the doctor a whole lot. Like when I had my teeth pulled, the dentist would not do the procedure until I got my blood pressure down. I was like, well, I'm not going to the doctor. Get back on my lisinopril, because we had fallen off the carnivore diet and my blood pressure skyrocketed, and so much so he wouldn't even give me any anesthesia or Novocaine or anything. So I just got back on the carnivore diet and my blood pressure got down to normal. within 30 days, and then I was able to do it. So I'm kind of bad about the doctor. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, mine on when I started carnivore and was on a couple months, started doing the exact opposite. So I don't I mean other than to say maybe that's your signal to start tightening it up. Maybe you need to go towards lying more. I mean that's all I know to say. Maybe you've reached a point of it what worked for you for a while stopped working for you and you need to tighten it up. Honestly, I'm with Bob mostly on that's a lab error because that's a crazy jump right there. Are you talking
Mm,
like in 6 months? Like it went from since the last time you had it checked, it went from 92 to 342, or like from 92 before you started keto to 342. I mean, I mean, I got more questions than answers, I guess, before I can really add a whole lot into it. Like Bob said, we're not doctors. None of us are. We preface that anything you hear from us is not going to be medical information, nothing like that. But I would definitely go have a recheck if that's what they're telling you your lab's showing up at. And then after you get it rechecked, I would probably take a hard look at what you're eating every day and see if it's lining up with how you view it. You know what I mean?
mm. So just to add to what's been said, look, I agree with you want to maybe get a second test just to double check. But also one thing I did hear, um, in Japan, some doctors before your labs, they'll say to you, don't eat anything, but if you're drinking like water or black coffee or whatever, that's fine. But then I've heard that black coffee can negatively impact triglycerides before a test. So you also want to be considering that kind of thing too, like if you're drinking coffee. Um, okay, so thank you very much for your question, Linda. Um, John says, "Oh, I've just lost his." Okay, I'll find his question again in a moment. I just lost it. I pressed star by accident and it toggled off. Low carb carnivore. Congrats on hitting your goal, Sean. Has the autophagy been good now that you're at goal?
I'll be honest with you, like I haven't been fasting much. I've been eating more now. So I I need to try some autophagy, but in as far as fasting, but thank you so much for the encouragement. I guess is how I should have started that. I appreciate that. Um but honestly, I really hadn't even me and my wife talked about fasting this week to get some autophagy, but I'm not I don't know, man. It's just not where I'm at right now. I'm kind of content with where I'm at and what I'm doing. And for whatever reason, like I mentioned earlier, my body is telling me eat more hungry instead of fast. And I like, if you love to fast, more power to whoever you are. I don't see anything wrong with fasting. I think fasting has its benefits on many different levels. Um, for me, it's just not like it's not where I'm at right now. So I don't desire it. I mean, so I haven't been doing a whole lot of it. And
Mm,
I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at right now, I feel like.
mm, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We got a question here from Who's Your Carnivore? How do each of you deal with that's not healthy people in person? It's different dealing with people in person versus online. Do you go in depth, skim over it, or blow them off? Oh, okay, Larry. What are your thoughts on this one?
I really don't get that a lot. I mean, we did in the beginning from our family members, but just kind of blow it off, and then they see, us lose 180 pounds of both of us together, and how can you argue with that? A lot of times I'll be in the grocery store and in the meat section, and see people, browsing the meat, and I'll bring up the carne. You eat a lot of meat. Have you ever heard of the carnivore diet? And it's, maybe once a month I'll do that, and if I get the right opportunity, and they're like, "Yeah, oh, that's not healthy," and I'll bust out my phone and show them our channel and our before and after, and I said, "Think about it," and I won't do that with somebody who's at a healthy weight, but if I see somebody who's a little chunky, and they're in the meat section, I bring it up. But I people say it's not healthy. Well, oh well, man. It's my body, it's your journey, and just kill them with results. And be an example for them. So, you got any thoughts on that, Bob?
I don't hold back any punches. If somebody says that's not healthy, I always start with, oh, and the donut you have in your hand is healthy. I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to say stuff because I'm a former fat guy. I used to be the big fat guy that could barely waddle around the grocery store. And if you tell me what I'm doing is not healthy, I'll ask them what they had for dinner last night. And then go down the list of everything that's in it between the anti nutrients and the undigestibles and all of the sugar and all of that. And then just, you know, as a certain person that I like to watch will occasionally, look at somebody on the screen, with this thoughtful look on his face, like maybe this isn't somebody we should be taking nutrition advice from. I'll do the same thing to them. But I'm a lot older than you guys are. I'm the crazy old man that can get away with stuff when I'm out in public. What do you think, Sean?
Oh man, listen. So I believe being attacked lets you know that you're important enough to be a target. Is how I look at it. Like honestly, um, it's hard. It's hard. It's gonna be real hard. You come at me with a bunch of it's not healthy kind of junk. I was like, where were you at when I was laying on the couch for 3 years, huh? Like, where were you at when I was on 3 blood pressure medications and gout medications and all these other things? Where was your advice at then? Where were you at when I was so depressed I didn't want to see the next morning? You didn't have any advice then, so why are you coming with this junk now about not being healthy? Now that I fixed all my blood work, my numbers are phenomenal. I lost 269 pounds. I can walk to my car without being out of breath. I can take a shower without feeling like I'm going to pass out. So, haters are going to hate, man. They do it to me on a consistent basis. I created a group as most of you guys are part of, and I have people join all the time, and like I think it's an amazing place to be. But every once in a while, somebody will chime in and they'll have something crazy to say, and it's almost to me. I try my best to just move along, because I know that regardless of how I come across, some people aren't going to like that. But you don't come up into a man's house and sit down on his couch and start insulting him about what he's talking about and what he's doing. That ain't going to fly for long. It's just not going to happen. So that's kind of how I view. If you love me and you care about me and I respect you, come talk to me and tell me. If you haven't been doing that, you don't really earn the right to come at me with that. That's how I view it. Dave?
Well said, Sean. Yeah, look, I think the way I deal with it these days, I mean, I would have reacted to everyone, 3 or 4 months in, but these days I'm more like, is this person kind of someone who is important in my life and actually, I care about their opinion and things like that? And if so, then I'll try and talk to them and I'll try and reason with them and stuff like that. But if it's just, if it's someone I work with that I don't have much of a relationship with or something, I'll just be like, whatever, I don't care. Go and eat your bananas in the corner. I don't care. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be different if it were Dave. If Dave comes to me and Dave's like, "Hey, man, this is something I just didn't healthy," or Larry, for example. Me and Larry don't have no problems calling me on my BS. Honestly, like that's how me and Larry operate. I wouldn't expect any less. I appreciate the fact that Larry calls me on my crap because I need it, and vice versa. If Bob were to come to me and say, "Hey, this right here is unhealthy. I don't think this is a good thing," I respect Bob. I respect what he has to say, and I would take his advice to heart. And there's other people that are in the same boat. But like, if just anybody off the street that has an opinion, we all have one. So
Yeah.
I digress. I rumbling.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they say in Australia. I'm gonna say a slightly cursy word here. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. So,
And they're
it's,
usually full of excrement.
right.
Right. Mhm.
Quick update, guys. We are 210 people now in the live. Thank you for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. If you haven't, please smash the like button, and that'll help us get the number up. Maybe we can get it to 300 in the next 30 minutes, and that will be awesome. Okay, so thank you, Hoosier Carnivore. Okay, so we've got a question here, a very interesting question here from Craig Smith. Bloody Mary's Carnivore, they contain blood.
No.
Okay, nice.
Maybe.
I maybe. Okay.
Only if you mix
Throw the
sardines
celery
in
stick
them.
away. Throw the celery stick away and make it out of real blood, and maybe, yeah. Hey Aaron, how you doing? Has anyone had a restless night after eating a high-fat dinner, like a very fatty ribeye? I have had this happen a few times lately, eating like 4 hours before bed. Bob, anything on this one?
I don't have anything for that. I have no trouble sleeping. I mean, I hate to keep pointing at my Elton John glasses, but since Professor K convinced me to do grounding and to wear blue blockers after dark, I sleep like a baby. What do you think, Larry?
First I want to say what's up, Aaron. Kilby Life. Just want to say what's up, man. And this is a dude right here where I need to get together and collab with. We were talking about it before the live stream. Cassie and I don't do a lot of collaborations, and we actually got a video coming out tomorrow to explain why. But it's good to see Aaron. And I don't know. I find if I eat right before bed at all, I dream a lot. Like your parents used to tell you, you're gonna have nightmares, and it's true. Like if I eat, hour or two before bed, I'm not necessarily nightmares, but I will dream quite a bit. But as far as being, I mean, that could be considered restless, I get. But as far as like tossing and turning, no, I've never really noticed that, brother. So, about you, Sean?
That's why I try my best not to eat late. I really do. Not just that, but walking too. If I walk in the evenings instead of the mornings, I will be wide awake laying there like this at night. It
Really?
just, yeah, 100%. Like fat, think about it. Fat, energy, moving around gets
Mm,
your blood flowing, energy. Like whatever it does, man, it just gets you pumped up. I mean, so yeah, I could see that. I try my best, and I have done it more recently than I used to. Eat within 4 hours of bedtime is an absolute no for me. I usually eat 10 to 2, 10 and 2, and that gives my body plenty of time to digest, use the energy, cool down a little bit, and go to sleep. So
mm. Yeah, and personally, I don't eat in the evening, so I can't. I've got nothing to add to that one. Okay. We got a question for Bob. Do you intend on getting a 10-gallon hat?
No, I have circa like 1976 brown corduroy Stetson cowboy hat that I've had since I was a kid. It's in my spare room somewhere. I actually looked for it before tonight and couldn't put my hands on it, so I think it's back in the closet buried behind some boxes. But no, if I feel the need for a cowboy hat in Texas, that's the one I'll wear. Other than that, I like baseball caps a lot better.
Nice. Okay. Homesick Buckeye, thank you so much for the super chat. I've found in my evangelism that it's best to try and save the savable and remember some of us had doubts at first too.
Good
Nicely
point.
put. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Homesick Bucko. And another super chat from Brian C. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
It's the
Brian.
Carnivore Rat Pack. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers. Much
Appreciate you, bro.
appreciated. Okay. And from actually a follow-on question from Homesick Bucko for Bob. What is Bob's favorite college football team?
See, he knows this answer, and everybody else should too that ever watch my channel. It's the Ohio State University. But unlike some people, and I'm not going to say who because I don't know for sure, but unlike some people that just follow a team because they happen to be from the area, I follow the Buckeyes because my dad played football for Ohio State. Now, granted, that was pre Woody Hayes, which tells you how long ago it was. But he played football for Ohio State. My mom went to nursing school at Ohio State. Her roommate became Mrs. Jack Nicholas. So, yes, I do actually know Jack. He's a friend of the family. I have 96 first cousins. All but one of them went to the Ohio State University, except Becky, because she had a full ride cheerleading scholarship to University of Kentucky. So I would have to say I come by my fandom of Ohio State quite naturally.
Nice. And okay, so where are we now? Gene Dudley would like to know, is it normal for drinking water all day, including carbonated water, always thirsty? Sean, are you always thirsty?
It's not as bad as it used to be. But I mean, I got in a habit when I was a teenager. One of my first jobs was working in a fast food joint, and I would always just take my cup and fill it up at the little fountain drinks or whatever. And I got in the habit of always just sipping on a drink all the time, and it's just something that I've continuously continued to do. It's more of a habit than it is anything. But so I drink water or carbonated water basically all day. And it's not that I think that I'm thirsty or that I need that much water. It's just like I said, a habit that I do. So I don't know. I don't think you need that much water to drink all day. You should only, just like eating, I think you should drink when you're thirsty and not drink when you're not thirsty. It's a horrible habit to have, but um here we are. Larry, what you got? You drink water all day?
For the most part, I do. Used to drink a lot more carbonated water, and I found I was having. I don't know if it was linked to it, but I was having a little bit of gas issues where I'd be tooting a lot, and I cut back quite a bit on the carbonated water actually, but and it seems to have helped. I'm not as gassy, but I drink water pretty much throughout the day. I'll always have a little thermos with me or whatever. And same thing when you're thirsty, drink it up. I really enjoy those. What are they, Sean? The Topo Chicos, yeah,
Yeah,
Topo Chicos. But they're so carbonated, but they
they're
taste so
so
good.
good.
What
Yeah,
about you?
Walmart.
Yeah, right. They never have them though. They never have them when I
Yeah, I
go there.
know.
So yeah, this is probably a good thing though, for me anyway. But I do enjoy them. What about you, Bob?
I don't actually drink any carbonated water. I drink straight tap water all day long. I probably drink more water than just about anybody because one of the things that I was told back in 1983 when I was diagnosed with gout is to drink a lot of water with gout. So I don't know if it actually helped or not. I had enough gout attacks that I don't think it actually did, but because my body is used to pushing water all day, I just have never tried to stop. So I drink probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 32-ounce glasses of water a day. I I drink a lot of water, but it's just water. I have my electrolyte mineral water in the morning, and then after that, it's just tap water for the rest of the day.
Mm, nice. So I just did a quick conversion for myself. I like I'm constantly drinking water, this carbonated water. And part of it is that I'm thirsty. Part of it is it's just habit. I got myself into the habit of drinking all the time. And probably to replace the drinking the other stuff I was doing all the time. Yeah,
Mm,
so I go through about a gallon of carbonated water every day.
same, probably.
Yeah. Hmm. Um, okay, so we're up to ground beef guy. The only thing that was high on my blood work was my potassium. Any thoughts on whether that's good or bad? Oh, okay. Bob, you got any thoughts on high potassium?
Well, just as with the triglycerides question, there are many reasons why your potassium could be high. And my question would be, was it just a little bit high? Because if it's just a little bit high, or even as high as double normal, your body should get rid of the excess just by urination. But if it goes higher than that, then I might investigate how much electrolyte and other things that you're using, and perhaps order something that doesn't have quite so much potassium in it. But I don't think it's a real problem unless, like I said, if you're, when you say high, if you're talking about double the normal range, then perhaps you may want to investigate it further. But anything other than that should not be a big problem. Larry, what do you think about that?
I got no thoughts on the potassium. I just want to say hi to Randy, ground beef guy, doing great, man, and it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here, brother. Sean.
Yeah, bro. Well, I mean, I would also, not to contradict anything that they've said, but I would just not get your stuff even checked for the first 6 months because, like, I know me personally, that's what I would not do. At least a 6 months to a year. Some of the like some of the things that whenever I did get my lab work done were wonky. Like I had my thyroid gave me a crazy high reading. It freaked me out. I was like, hold up, everything is great. Now my thyroid's messed up, like out of nowhere. And I went and had it rechecked a month later and it was fine. And so like I got all worked up, got stressed out, thinking something else is going wrong from, even though all this other stuff is being corrected whenever I didn't have to. So along this journey, you're going to see as your body's healing and correcting itself, things may look off a little bit. I'm not trying to, like we mentioned before, not a doctor, but I just main thing is don't get too worked up about something that's a little outside of range, like unless it becomes a bigger problem later. Is how I view it.
Hmm.
And that's kind of what I do. I'm proud of Randy too, man. He's been killing it and out there walking. Make sure yeah, doing great. So keep it up, buddy.
Nice. Okay, so where did we go? We got a super chat here from Steve. Steve, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you guys for your dedication to sharing your stories and impacting so many lives. Your realness is much appreciated. Thank you very
Thanks.
much. That's very kind of you, Steve.
Thanks, brother. I'm getting ready to bring him on and do a show with him, or at least a video, one of the two. But Steve is killing it too, and I'm proud of him too. He's another one. Randy, Steve, like them guys are putting work in. Steve's coming up on 30 days, and he is absolutely killing it. And I'm proud of him
Nice.
too. So, yeah, man, there's so many people that out there that have come across, a video or whatever, and are literally in the middle of the process and getting started 30 days 60 days putting in work, changing their lives, and that's priceless. It's extremely inspirational to me. It's extremely encouraging to me. And like, you don't understand the drive and determination it gets me when I hear these stories, when I get those messages, whenever you send that stuff. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, brother, and I thank you too. So
Hmm. Yeah, nice. And well done, Steve. Well done, Randy. Okay, so Mary Thompson. Yesterday at 10:30 a.m., I had 7 boiled eggs, were Hy-Vee brand, and they made me so tired, just unreal. Slept dead to the world most of the day till about 8 p.m. Farm fresh eggs don't make me tired. Why? Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Um, Larry, any thoughts on that?
No, not really. We enjoy farm fresh eggs now, and we have for 3 or 4 months now. And the only difference we saw with them, Cassie did a recipe and she couldn't get them to come to Stiff Peak, so she had to go get some store bought ones when she was whipping them up. But no, I mean, my only advice is don't, stop eating those. Go back to what's working, and maybe you'll have a little more energy. That's crazy. I've never heard that before. Have you, Sean?
Nah, I mean, I would think it would be the opposite if you got to get up early and go to the farm and get the eggs. But like, um,
Right.
nah, honestly, I have no idea. Now, I mean, I can look at the eggs and see eggs that would get from friends that have chickens in the backyard. Though egg yolks would always look darker than what I would get in a grocery store. They would taste a little bit different. Like I've heard that they're more nutritious, which is awesome. I can't lay it out on a piece of paper and I can't explain if there is that much of a difference between the two. But if that's what works for you and that's how it makes you feel, then there's not a thing in the world wrong with eating farm fresh eggs. Get all you can get and have fun. I don't know. I don't know what I've never heard of that happening either. But obviously you're the first one. Now I have.
Hmm. Okay, yeah. But just to add to that, yeah, I would. If you're having a reaction, yeah, just stay away. Stay away from them. Okay. So, uh, Kip's got a question for us to notice. Hit the like button and I'll put my speedo on.
Don't hit the like button.
Cheers, Kip. Okay. Um, okay, we got another quick question here from Low Carb Carnivore. I am at day 28 today, and I've just started putting my story out there. Any tips on getting seen and growing in this amazing community? Okay, Sean, any tips?
Well, I see you right there, brother. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, just be real, be open, be yourself. That's all I can tell you, man. I'm the worst person in the world to ask on YouTube tips, honestly. But I mean, Larry and Dave, Bob, like, I just honestly go out and share my heart with people. I share what's on my heart. Sometimes I go too far. Sometimes I don't go far enough. That's the only advice I can give you. Number one, be real. Put it out there, have your heart in what you're doing, because if you don't, eventually it's going to get old to you. You're going to get worn out with it. You're not really going to care about it. And you're going to move on to something else. But if your heart's in it, you're dedicated to it, it means something to you, it affected you in a certain way, then it's going to be part of who you are, not something that you're just taking part in. So that's what I would do. And whatever, man, just start just being friends and talking with people, just like we're doing here. Get to know people.
Mm.
It'll work. That's my advice. Larry, man, what you got?
I mean, you pretty much nailed it. Be authentic, be yourself. Can't fake real, and there's nobody else in the world like you. And Cassie and I, we didn't do any live streams or collabs like the first 2 years. It was just all about putting out videos of our progress. Even when we fell and we gained a bunch of weight on YouTube, but it's a grind. If you want to grow your channel and so you can help more people get the word out about the proper human diet, it is a grind. So if you don't dig doing it, it's going to get old because it's like Sean got 10,000 subscribers pretty quickly, but he had already done the work. He had already lost 200 and what, Sean, 67 pounds or 250 at that time. And he had a
Yeah,
lot to
dude.
talk about. You know what I mean? He had an example to show the world where if, I see a lot of people starting a channel when, they really haven't lost any weight, but they want to document their journey like Cassie and I did in the beginning. and it's a grind. It's going to take a while. So, you know, um, Sean deserves every one of those subscribers because he put the work in a different way. I had been on him for a little while. When you get to start a YouTube channel, and he ended up waiting till he pretty much got down to almost his healthy weight, but more importantly, he had his confidence back to get in front of the camera and get the message out to everybody. Because I'll tell you, even when he was halfway to his goal weight, he was still timid, shy. He came over to my house, and he's a different guy than you see on the screen right now. So as long as you're comfortable being in front of the camera, um, I get a lot of YouTube questions, and always feel anybody can feel free to reach out to me. I like talking YouTube stuff, but I warn you, don't get discouraged. It is a grind. Bob, you got anything?
What do I know about YouTube? I'm the smallest channel on this collab. I'm just a tiny little channel. I don't know nothing about it. I would suggest if you actually want to get into the ins and outs of how to do YouTube, follow Nick Nimmin and his brother D Nimmin have two great channels. Roberto Blake is another big help you with stuff guy. The only thing I will tell you is be prepared, as Larry said, for the grind, and as Sean said, to be real, because the cold hard reality of YouTube is that 90% of all channels never get monetized, which means they never reach the threshold of 1,000 subs plus 4,000 watch hours. And Sean is actually in rarefied air. All three of these guys are in rarefied air. I'm just the lowly guy sitting on the corner. But these three guys are all over 10K subs. And once you've crested the 10K sub mark, you are now in the top 7% of all YouTubers. Let that sink in for a minute. You're in the top 7% of all YouTubers once you break the 10,000 subscriber mark, because it doesn't happen nearly as often as it looks like when looking around our carnivore community. So these three guys have done something really special.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Cheers. If I just add to this, look, low carb carnivore. My advice would be, I agree with everything that's been said. Apart from Bob kind of saying I'm the smallest. Whatever, Bob, your channel is very influential as well. And actually, as you discussed that about the percentages there, that takes me back to the video I was watching that you put out talking about that. That was one day I'm in the gym listening to you talking about those stats, and yeah, it's important to do what everyone said, but just put out the videos. Don't overthink it, right? So from my experience, the videos that I've had that go viral and get the attention of people and actually, build your audience, those are the videos that I didn't do much planning about. I didn't think a lot about. I just decided, you know what, I want to make a video about something. What am I going to make a video about? Okay, I want to shout about this thing. Or, I want to be angry about this thing. This thing really irritated me in this article today, or something like that, And those are the ones that do really well. So you never know which video you put out is going to take off and get you the attention. It could be the second video that you put out, and it might not take off immediately. It might be sitting there for 2 months getting one view every day. And then suddenly YouTube just decides, hang on, this is getting a lot of watch time or something. I'm going to push this out. And that's when you get the attention. Suddenly you've got a lot of people coming to your channel. So just getting started and putting it out there, putting out, again, as everyone said, your authentic self is what's really important.
Yeah, I'd like to add something to that, Dave.
Yeah.
I just want to say I got a ton of respect. I mean, a massive amount of respect for anybody who is grinding away at their channel and they're not seeing a lot of growth. I could name off a bunch. The Kilby Life, who's I believe he's still in here, Mission Keto, Southern Carnivore, Ready Set Keto, and they've been doing consistent, good content for a long time, and they just haven't had that, that little push. And I remember I did that video with 8 smaller YouTube channels you never heard of, and I didn't put the Kilby Life on it because the threshold was 5,000 subscribers or less. Actually, semi-retired Bob was, yeah, Bob, you were on that video, and I and I remember Aaron messaged me like, oh, I have too many subscribers, and I thought, man, I thought he was up to like 10 or 11,000 subscribers by now because his content's so good. So it's just, I really have a lot of respect for folks that, because you go through those periods to where you don't see any growth. And that's where it comes back to, you got to really enjoy doing it, and you have to have the desire to help people really in our niche. We're not doing movie reviews, we're talking about bettering your life and helping folks. So I give
Well,
dibs to all the channels out there that really put the effort in. Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead,
the other thing that I wanted to add too, Bob, thank you, man. You're too kind, man, and you got me all in my feels over here, brother. I get so emotional whenever I think about that because it really hasn't been that long since I was laying on the couch, and to just see that and hear other people talk about the success that you're having, and the effort that you're putting out is, I appreciate that. You guys, Larry, you guys are amazing, man. And but the thing is, honestly, I'm compelled to do this because that's where my heart is. And my focus has never been YouTube. It really hasn't. I do this because of people like I was saying a while ago, like Steve and like Randy, and those guys who are struggling, who have been where I was at and are struggling to get forward, and they're doing it. And encouragement, and it's just heavy on my heart. And so I don't know, man. Like I'm extremely appreciative. I'm excited. Um, I'm very dedicated to what I do, but the reason is much bigger than just YouTube. It's about real people, real lives, and real change because that's what I experienced. And that's, I had a guy approach me and wanted to do a collab, and start a show that talked about something other than carnivore. And I just like, it kind of hit me the wrong way, and I couldn't even talk to the guy anymore because like, you're trying to tell me that I should turn my back on the entire message that I'm putting out, the thing that changed my life, the hope that somebody else could have, because you want to do a show like this. More power to you. I'm not mad at you. Go do your show. I wish you all the luck in the world, but this is what I'm about. I talk about two things, and carnivore is what my channel's about, and that's what I talk about. Carnivore and Jesus, the two things that changed my life. We obviously get together and we talk about carnivore, and so I can't not talk about the thing that has drastically moved my life in a direction that I couldn't get out of. And so, yeah, I do get emotional. I do get high. I do get fired up, and I'm extremely dedicated to it, man, because it changed my life. But it's real people and talking with those people. So thank you guys. And I know you guys' hearts are in it too. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be doing it as well.
Well said, Sean. Okay, so Low Carb Carnivore, thank you for your question, and good luck with the channel. And please, keep us updated how it's going. And so where are we? Okay. So Stephen Miller, I can't get down to OMAD. Can do too mad. I just get too hungry. My energy is coming back. I'm eating 6 eggs, 50 grams of butter, and at least 1 kilogram of meat every day. Any issues with that? Bob, what are your thoughts?
I can't do the quick conversion to know what 50 grams or 1 kilogram of meat is, but
1 kilogram is about 2 pounds.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like enough. And if you're breaking that up into two, the only suggestion I would have, and this is not my idea, this is from Professor K, is that you want to make sure that at least one of your meals you're getting at least 40 to 45 grams of protein. You want the biggest pile of your protein in one meal so that you do get a little bit of an insulin bump that will keep your kidneys functioning properly. Because the idea of the ketogenic diet is not to be in ketosis the entire time. You do want to have that one little surge during the day that your body actually makes some insulin. And that'll keep your kidneys in much better shape for the long term. But just at first glance, that looks like plenty of food in 2 meals a day. Looks like you shouldn't be having any problems. And the only other thing that I would ask, as I say on my channel all the time, if you're seeing results and you're happy with those results, there's no reason to change anything. What do you think, Larry?
I mean, you said it all, man. No, I do want to say, Steven, that just don't stress. Cassie and I used to stress on that. We want to get down to one meal a day, and it actually happened just on its own. And then we kind of started under eating a little bit. But I just, again, that just falls to me. It falls back to if you're hungry, eat. So, and don't stress yourself out about getting one meal a day, because Cassie and I did when we first started. Because our thinking was, oh, we'll be intermittent fasting, for 23 hours. That's great. But yeah, so that's all I got, Sean.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I try, you guys know I've talked about it before, that OMAD. Like, I've tried it twice. I'm not saying it's not great, but I know it's not for me. I mean, and like, I can't say anything more than what these guys have said, so I digress.
Yeah, I can't really add anything to this. Don't stress about it. I agree. If you're not hungry, as long as you're satiated and you're feeling good, that's great. Okay, so Stephen, thank you for the question. And Craig is asking, does anyone use a sleep monitor to see what type of REM and deep sleep you are getting at night? Sean, do you use a sleep monitor?
I do not. I don't. I do. Honestly, I've never even thought about it. I used to sleep with a CPAP, but other than that, no, I'm good. I sleep better than I ever have. As far as whenever I go to sleep, most of the time I'm up doing stuff later than I should now. But when I go to sleep, I sleep like a baby now. And that's one thing I guess I could share with you guys too. Like my wife was talking about. She's been carnivore since May the 1st. She's lost like 18 pounds, and she was knee high to a grasshopper little already before she started. But she talks about her sleep too. Like, she sleeps amazing now. So, that's one of the best things. But neither one of us have ever monitored it.
Larry, do you monitor?
No, I do use a CPAP machine though. Still haven't gotten rid of it yet, and I can't wait to get rid of it. Yeah, my sleep apnea isn't from structural issues; it's from being overweight. And Cassie sees me, like, if I ever fall asleep on the couch or something, like late at night, we're watching a little TV. She's told me that I'm not, my breathing isn't stopping while I'm sleeping. So I could probably try and get off it now. It's just, if you've ever used a CPAP, you get used to it, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like I'm making the excuse. Well, I want to get down to my goal weight before I give it up, my little security blanket. But as far as the sleep monitor, as far as your ARIA, that'd be cool to try though, to track your REM sleep. Bob?
I've got nothing for this. I don't track anything. I don't track my sleep. I don't track my macros. I eat when I'm hungry. I go to bed when I'm tired. The only thing that interrupts my sleep is I'm an old man and the bathroom's right across the hall.
Right,
Dave?
Right.
Yeah, I'm kind of same thing, same as Bob on all fronts. Yeah. So yeah, I don't track anything at all. So sorry, we haven't got any experience to share with you on that one. Craig. Okay, another Craig Smith wants to know if I put Bailey's Irish cream in my coffee, is that still carnivore? Dairy is carnivore. Yeah.
No.
Okay, no. Sorry, we had
That's
to
an
shut you
easy
down
one.
on that
No,
one. You're cut
Yeah.
off, Craig. You're
Yeah.
cut off.
Yeah, I'm not. We're not doctors, but we can all tell you no.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit worried you might be watching this live stream from a bar at the moment, Craig.
Right.
he is.
That's right.
Okay. The Dharma Dreams is asking Dave, since you live in Japan, do you ever eat sashimi or just beef and eggs? The whole time I've been on I do eat sashimi, but the whole time I've been on carnivore, that whole 14 months, I haven't had any. And that's for no other reason other than I don't work in a place that's convenient to go and get sashimi. Like there's a supermarket across the road that sells that kind of stuff, but I don't like buying sashimi from a supermarket. I'd rather like buy it from a proper restaurant or something, and there's just nothing around. So the opportunity just isn't really there. So that's why I haven't. But yeah, if someone puts sashimi in front of me, I'd happily eat away. The
What
only
is
trouble is,
what
oh,
is that,
sorry, go
Dave?
ahead.
What is that, Dave? What is
Ah,
sashimi?
good question.
Raw fish.
Raw fish.
Oh, okay.
So if you think of sushi, sushi is like the raw fish on the rice. Sashimi is basically just the raw fish.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it just
Yeah.
looks like it just looks like sushi sans rice. Um and
It looks like
yeah,
colored
so
snot
it's
on the plate.
yeah. Sorry, say again.
I said it looks like colored snot on the plate.
True, yeah. Um but I find the trouble with sashimi that I noticed like from years ago, being on keto before, was that it doesn't really fill you up as much as eating beef or eating some ruminant, and I guess it's not as fatty. So I'd probably end up having to eat a steak or something afterwards anyway, so yeah. I'm not. I can kind of take it or leave it. I like it, but I can take it or leave it. Um. Okay. Thank you very much, Carnival Scott, for the super chat. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah. What's up, man? Thank you.
Very
Appreciate
much.
the super chat.
Very cool.
Cheers. Okay. Um. And Craig has another question. He's asking, has anyone found the old guy carnivore channel? Mitch is putting out some great content. Sean, have you found the old guy carnivore channel? Or has anyone found the old guy carnivore channel?
Is it called the old guy carnivore? Because I can assure you, like I'm subscribed to more people than I would ever be able to watch at this point. But like I'm not sure that I've come across an old guy carnivore
Yeah, I
named
don't
old
think
guy
I have.
carnivore yet. But that's
Oh
cool.
yeah, it is called the old guy carnivore channel.
Nice.
And it's yeah. Yeah, I haven't either. Larry or Bob, no?
No, I haven't, and I'll tell you when you first start a channel, even if you type in the name of the channel exactly like it is, a lot of times it won't pop up in search. That's how
Oh,
hard it is. That's how hard it is for when you very first start a channel to be seen.
this guy,
So no, but I'll check it out. Old guy carnivore, cool. Did it
old
pop
guy
up for you?
carnivore. Yeah, old guy
I checked him
carnivore
out.
is
He's got
almost
more
at
subs than I
8K.
do.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
8,000, nice.
yeah. I've never heard of
I'm
him.
surprised he hasn't come
That's
up in
odd.
my feed before. Yeah. Just scanning for questions. Okay. So the last question
See,
we've got at
everybody's
the
bigger than
moment.
I am.
You'll get there, Bob.
Everybody that's on the chat right now, if you're not subscribed to Semi-Retired Bob's channel, what are you waiting for?
Right.
Like,
Hmm.
I will
You
say this. Sorry, I got to put this out there, but like me and Bob started out in private group together. Like we started Carnivore essentially around the same time, and we both been working at it. I mean, Bob's out there putting in work and doing his thing, man. And like, yeah, if you're not subscribed to Bob, if you're not subscribed to Dave, if you're not subscribed to Larry, if you're not subscribed to me, you should be. Like support each other.
Yeah. So yeah, head over and get that subscribing done. And we've got 222 people in the live, so that's pretty good. Nice showing. Okay, Judy Mathina Official. Question: is it really necessary to have blood work done? Maybe as a base, I guess. Bob, what do you think?
Not really. If you if you have a yearly physical that you go to, I would time it so that you've been on carnivore for at least 9 months before you get your yearly done. You know, if you're on one of those jobs that has where you have to have it. I just got mine done in an independent lab because I was curious because I don't actually have a primary care physician right now. I do still go see my cardiologist, but he cut me back to once a year now. So, and when I first had my heart surgery 5.5 years ago, for my first office visit after that was like, and I'll see you every 3 months till one of us dies. And now he's got me cut back to a year. But as if you're not having any real problems and you're seeing the successes that you want to see, like your weight is dropping or you're getting stronger or your waist is getting smaller or whatever that thing is that you want, no, I wouldn't worry about it. But if you feel bad, then you want to find out why. But if everything's moving right along, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure everybody's going to disagree with me on that, but that's okay. What do you think, Dave?
Um, I would say, yeah. I mean, just get it done once a year or something when you get your physical done, like you say. But maybe when you're getting started, it's good as a base, so you've got something to compare to later on. Other than that, not sure. Larry, any thoughts?
I just say it's a personal choice. You know, if you're curious, I look at that. You know, I mean, if you're overall feeling good, you know, it's kind of like using a ketone monitor. You know, you don't need to do that, but if you know you'd like to check your ketone levels once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's all good. Sean,
I mean, is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. Like honestly, I might not ever go back to the doctor again. Like why? I mean, what is he going to do about what shape I'm in? Unless something's wrong. I mean, if you're, I would suggest if you're the person that's going to worry about stuff, then yeah, go get your stuff checked for your benefit to give you peace of mind. I mean, the objective is not just to keep the doctor in business and keep his house payment paid for him, right? So, I mean, if it's unnecessary, if you're not going to worry about it, why worry about it? You know,
Mm,
this is how I feel.
it's a
yeah,
good question, Judy.
It
yeah.
Very
is.
good, very
Thanks,
good one.
Judy. Okay. So guys, we've almost at the end of the questions. If you've got any final questions, please pump them in. We've got one here for Larry. Larry from Thomas. Larry, you had some documented slip ups with food addiction. What did you do to overcome it?
Yeah, we had some slip ups, Thomas. You must be watching our old content. Cassie and I gained 100 pounds right on YouTube just for your entertainment. And what we did was use accountability, man. That's how we got through it. You know, I started making daily videos. Just I'd be in my car out working, and I just pop on a video and say, "All right, you know, I'm going through this right now," and you know, I'd have a few people comment and encourage me, and it really helped. And then once I got the ball rolling, um, Cassie, you know, followed suit, and we were about to have we got news we were gonna be grandparents for the first time, and our daughter was getting married, so that was a little bit of extra motivation. But you know, even with Cassie's history of cancer, she had colon cancer 6, 7 years ago and had some of her colon removed. You know, that's a big motivation right there to eat as clean as you can, you know, eat beef and salt. And that shows you the power of food addiction. You know, we slipped up even with that looming over our heads. And it's food addiction is a real thing. A lot of people, I hear a lot of people dismiss that, especially when they're not overweight. And, you know, I was addicted to alcohol for 10 years. And I can tell you they're very similar. You know, food addiction and it's an addiction, right? But accountability, man, you can find that in Facebook groups, Instagram. If you're a little crazy like some of us, start a YouTube channel and get accountability that way. Have some friends in your phone you can call. But, it's basically boils down to planting your feet and just committing to making your life better. How bad do you want to change your life? A counselor in rehab, he always used to say that. How bad do you want to change your life? So I wish you luck, man. If you're slipping right now and you're having trouble, just get people like-minded around you that can encourage you. So that's all I got.
Nice. Thank you, Larry. Okay, so Craig has a question, and just while we're answering that, I'm going to disappear for a second. Do any of you hardcore carnivores eat cashews, peanuts, or macadamia nuts? From my side, I love them all. Don't eat them. I especially love cashews. I don't eat them because it does terrible things to my digestion. Sean, how about you?
Honestly, if I'm gonna eat off plan, it's not gonna be some cashews, peanuts, or macadamia nuts. I can assure you that.
Peanuts.
Nah, I mean, I'm gonna make my off plan meal worth it. Nah, I made a plan early on to eat. I'll eat Texas fajitas, man. That's my off plan. If anytime that I have eaten off plan, it really wasn't off plan because I made a plan to eat that when I started this. Like I just stuck with my plan a little differently than how it probably should have looked. And then I come right back, get right back on plan. But no, I can't do cashews, peanuts, and macadamia nuts. Just not appealing to me, brother. But Bob, what about you, man? You like the cashews, peanuts, or macadamia nuts?
I love them all, but I will qualify this. I'm going to first channel my inner Bart K and tell you that the exact requirement for exogenous carbohydrates in the human body is not 1 gram ever. That being said, if you're having an occasional cashew or peanut or macadamia nut and you're still seeing the results that you'd like to see, and it's not causing any other problems that you can tell, then I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But me personally, I would never touch nuts again. Too many anti-nutrients in nuts, especially peanuts. Larry?
I love them all. I really do, especially the macadamia nuts and the cashews. Cashews are a big one. I love them. Actually, on my birthday in April, we were documenting. We had a bunch of people over, family, and my daughter's birthday is actually the day before. And I documented that I slipped. I had a bowl of cashews, and I remember we lost like I don't know 4 or 5 subscribers. I remember one guy's comment. He said like the arrogance of this idiot eating nuts on the screen. It's like, man, get out of here. Are you kidding me? I haven't eaten like off plan in months. I mean, a long time. And it's like, get out of here. Unsubscribe. Go. I don't want you around. I was just showing the audience, I mean, there was a lot of temptations there, and I enjoyed every single one of them. The danger is, I totally agree with Bob. If you enjoy them and they don't, affect you in a negative way, but the only thing is they're so easy to overeat, and that's why I don't. If I could enjoy them without overeating them, I'd probably have some once in a while. But that's going back to that food addiction. I just stay away from it, So
Nice.
Yeah,
Thank
3 or 4
you.
peanuts. 3 or 4 peanuts is a serving, not a pound.
you're right. And that's hard to do. That's really hard
It
to do.
is. Your camera's still off,
So
Dave.
thank you. And there was a reason for that. So this is for Aaron. Aaron has said, can Dave put on a wig to end this? Anyone else have wigs? So I just thought I'd stick my wig on. Fortunately, the hat still fits.
Oh my goodness.
I
Yeah.
don't have a lot of hair, so this has
Oh,
to suffice
man.
as my hair.
I gotta say, Dave, when your very first video I ever saw, you popped up in my feed, and you were wearing that wig. I said,
and
this guy's got
you
balls.
still continue to watch me?
Yeah, I was like, this guy's got balls, you know. I've actually seen Aaron do a video. He's doing an element spot where he's like playing his mother or something. That takes balls to do that, and I totally respect
Mm,
that. So, first video
yeah.
I ever saw, you had that wig on.
If I could quickly tell the story about how this started.
Yeah.
So, just after I got started making videos, I I put out a video about, the crazy things that non-carnivores ask you, right? And apparently I was a bit snarky and a bit sarcastic in that video in my responses to the non-carnivores. And someone just commented on it. I love the sarcasm, or I love the snark, or something like that. And I thought, well, I can do better than that. I wasn't even trying in that video.
Challenge
And
accepted.
and so that's how this came about, because it was like, I'm just gonna completely, take the Mickey out of the other side. So yeah. Oh, and I should note, we've got
Oh man,
a super
thank you.
chat from Judy. Thank you so much, Judy. That's very much appreciated.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Judy. Appreciate it.
And yeah, also putting my wig on, I may have missed some questions here. So let me just check if we got any questions come through. I don't think we have, though. I don't think there's anything here. Hang on. Okay. So here we go. One from Louise. How long does it take each of you to reduce inflammation? What causes it for each of you? I think it probably depends on where the inflammation is and what it's causing and all that kind of the context. But for me, I mean, the inflammation I had was in joints, and I guess that was about 3 or 4 months probably before I noticed it being completely gone. Bob, how about you?
Yeah, my inflammation started to go away within the first week, but it's been a long, slow process because I have spinal stenosis and arthritis and gout and a partridge in a pear tree wrong with me. So
Yeah, right.
it's been it took, I don't know, probably 9 months to a year for most of it to go by, and most of it went away with just carnivore diet. But I will say I do take Cyactive. It's an inflammation support product from Cerule, and that seems to have knocked out the last of it because I feel great.
Nice.
Larry, or whoever else hasn't answered yet.
Yeah. How long did the inflammation? Well, Bob had quite a bit. My main inflammation was in my hands. I dealt with a little bit of what am I looking for? Where your hands go numb?
You're
Carpal tunnel, and I had that from the industry I worked in. And when I got to my heaviest, I couldn't play the guitar anymore at all. It only took about 30 days before I could, start really playing guitar again. And another thing I noticed, like driving in the car, checking over your shoulder, for traffic and stuff. I could barely do that, but it only took about 30 days to start seeing some real improvements. And that's 30 days of strict carnivore. I wasn't having cheese. I found out later on that cheese really inflames me. So, but yeah, Bob, you've cleared up so much. It's just crazy. And you too, Sean, right?
Yeah, so like for me, like Bob, I had gout. That was some of the worst stuff ever, and I haven't had any flares or anything like that. My joints, my knee, I had a weeping edema on the fronts of my legs, and like you can see the new skin now. Like I still have scars from where like I would hit something, and it would just rip my skin, and it would scar and scab, and it take forever to try to heal. Now I got fresh new skin with scars over it. So, but yeah, the inflammation quick. I think I lost like 45 to 48 pounds the first month. And I guarantee most of that was probably inflammation and water weight coming off. Cause that's insane. But I don't really do a whole lot. I do eat off plan. I said that, like off of carnivore plan, but like it's usually something that's within keto for me or ketovore, whatever. Not a big deal. It's my plan anyway. But I don't do a whole lot to keep retaining inflammation. Um,
Mm.
so I mean, I don't have to get rid of it a whole lot that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe I do, and I just don't realize it, but nothing compared to what it was like. So um, there's that.
Mhm.
Dave, I guess back to you, bud.
Sure. So yeah, for me it was about 3 to 4 months before the joint pain cleared up. Um, so we have a question here from Zeka. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Through what biological mechanism do seed oils harm us? What do they do to our cells or cholesterol particles to cause diabetes and I can never pronounce it, that clogging up of your arteries thing?
Atherosclerosis.
um, Sean, thoughts on this one?
Honestly, as far as the seed oils, I think who was it? Is it Mason? Dr. Mason. Dr. Mason and Dr. Chafee have an amazing, in-depth discussion about that exact issue. I'm not qualified to meet that. What I will say is that, to explain that, but as far as what do the cells in our cholesterol partake to cause diabetes and atherosclerosis, whenever you continue your body, one of the first things your body is going to attack whenever you ingest those toxins is your blood vessels, because those blood vessels can easily be replaced versus if it were to attack your heart, your brain, your liver, whatever. Obviously it will go into those areas if you continue to add, as most of us have for 40 and 50 and whatever years. But so the diabetes, you keep spiking your sugar, you killing your insulin, you become insulin resistant, and you keep shocking that system, and you go up and down all day, every day. You're going to see issues. So I don't know. I mean,
And Buck is just commenting that Paul Mason video that you're referencing. Are you smarter than a doctor? Is the title.
oh yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I would check it out. They go in hard on it, and it's very interesting. I'm not qualified to
Mm,
go there.
yeah.
I just
Did
don't need it.
anyone else want to add anything to that?
Check out that video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that video is very good. He actually gives, and the thing that he starts out with is that he gave a test to first year medical students, and they all scored slightly less than his secretary did on that test because their education is not covering the things that he thinks it should cover. But the bottom line on seed oils is that they're oxidized before they ever hit the shelf of the store. Go to any search engine of your choice and search for, how is canola oil made, or how is rapeseed oil made, or any of those, and watch that. And I guarantee you'll never want to touch another seed oil for the rest of your life because it's truly disgusting.
Mm. I made a video on it, and the process is just, it's foul. Washing in petroleum products and bleaching and all sorts of things just to make it semi-palatable. Yeah.
Damn, I might have to check that out.
We've got one more question here from Hot Artesian. But guys, what one particular food do you think caused your inflammation to begin with? For me, it was sugar in foods, processed carbs, especially. Bob, what one food do you think caused your inflammation to begin with?
I think it's a combination of seed oils and sugar. The two big killers. There's a really big argument, and I wouldn't really call it an argument. I'd call it a discussion. There are those in the sugar is the devil camp and there are those that are in seed oils of the devil camp. I think they're both right. I think the two of those together cause 99% of our problems in our food as a society. If we would eliminate sugar and eliminate seed oils, we wouldn't be spending 70% of our gross domestic product on healthcare.
Hmm.
What do you got for that, Larry?
As for me, I agree. I mean, when I'm not eating the carnivore diet, all I eat is processed foods. That's what me and Cassie, me, it was fast food. I mean, fast food just was killing me, and garbage like that. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same as Bob, sugar and processed foods and seed oils. I mean, it's full of it. So, Sean, Sean.
I didn't have anything to add more than what you guys have already added, honestly. As far as the
Hmm.
inflammation, like it's the seed oil.
Yeah.
I will,
What?
I will, I will say
I
that,
agree. Oh, sorry.
like I said,
Go ahead.
cheese. I mean, sorry, just cheese does. Now I know for a fact, cheese causes me an extreme amount of inflammation. So, and that was after not having it for 200 days, and then I finally had some.
Mhm.
But anyway, my dog's scratching, so let me mute this.
Well, yeah. I
um,
mean, it's as far as the particular food. I agree with Bob and all them. The carbs and the sugar. A carb is basically a complex chain of sugar. Is what it breaks down in, right? I mean, so it's sugar, processed food, seed oils, like all of it probably together. Is the one particular food. I mean, that's a one particular macronutrient that did it. But that's about it. Dave.
yeah. I think you'll really said it. I think for me, it was just constant consumption of sugar and foods containing seed oils, and I mean processed foods, which are basically turning into sugars anyway. Alcohol, which is basically turning into sugar anyway. It's all kind of comes down to sugar and seed oils. Yeah. So guys, I think we're at the end of the questions. We've been going for over an hour and a half now. So maybe that's a good point to end for this week. Um, so from me, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for joining us. We really appreciate you joining and asking questions and being here with us and sharing this journey with us and allowing us to share yours with you. Yeah, any final words, Sean?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody who's tuned in tonight, wherever you are, whatever your channel is, wherever you're watching at tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys taking times out of your night to be here. Um, I love you guys. Stay strong. I want to say thanks to Bob. Thank you for being here, brother. It's always a good
Yeah,
time to
thank you,
hang out
Bob.
with you. It's all I enjoy it, and I appreciate you taking time to be here with us and hang out, and hopefully you had a good time, and we'll do it again. Dave, Larry, love you guys, man. I can't wait to do it again. So you guys share the videos, like them, subscribe wherever you're at, invite a friend to be with you next week, and we'll see you then. So stay strong, keep pushing forward. Larry, you want to say anything, brother?
Yeah, I had a blast tonight, guys. Everybody watching from my channel or any of the other guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I just want to do a little plug because I worked 3.5 days on the edit. I got a new video coming out. It'll probably be 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. And I talk about some things that I never have on the channel. Open up about some things Cassie and I have been through. So I hope you guys check that out. And it was awesome to be on the screen with Mr. Semi-retired Bob. It's been a long time coming, my man, and I really enjoyed sitting here chatting with you guys. Love each and every one of you. Ton of respect. You guys rock, Bob.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out to the live stream tonight. And I really appreciate the three of you guys allowing a small YouTuber like me to hang out with you, because
Crazy boy.
I am just a tiny little channel, and you guys are the Mount Rushmore of Carnivore. Sorry, I couldn't resist going there. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh
You're
man,
welcome.
absolutely, Bob. We love you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot, Bob. Thanks. And everyone, thank you so much. And we will see you again next week. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Have a
Bye.
good week.